Hey everybody, it's Matt with BitCubed. And if you're like me, you probably work in an office building and occasionally have to join a conference call. You know how there's always that one individual who can't seem to figure out how to actually connect their computer correctly? Their audio comes through as a terrible screech, or there's horrible background noise, often because they're using their microphone that's built into their laptop, as well as the speakers that are built into the laptop, or they have some headset or wired microphone from who knows when, and it sounds absolutely abysmal. Well, today we're going to try a bunch of headsets and microphones you might find around your office or your house, as well as some ones that you probably wouldn't find unless you're into podcasting or shooting video. We're going to see what they sound like when you connect to a common conference service and pipe that audio through. I'll also spend a few minutes and talk about what I like about each microphone or headset and what I don't. Let's jump right in and talk about the first device, which is not actually a headset. It's a shotgun microphone from AudioTechnica. It's the 875R. It runs about $170, and it's actually what's recording the audio for this video. It's a condenser microphone, which means it requires phantom power. So in addition to needing XLR cables, you actually also need some kind of recorder that can supply that power. Probably not a microphone you're going to find in your office or necessarily want to use in the office, but for recording video, it's great. It's pretty small. It's only about this big, and I like it a lot. At $170, it's actually the most expensive device we're going to look at all of the ones here, and it doesn't have headphones, so probably not for conference calls unless you're sitting in a home studio of some sorts. The next mic we're going to talk about is the AudioTechnica ATR2100. What's cool about this mic is it outputs both to USB and over XLR. So you can plug it directly into your MacBook or your PC, and it makes a great microphone. It's only $64, which is a steal for this microphone. Sounds great, really popular among podcasters. I highly recommend it. It's actually the mic that I use whenever I'm in my home office, taking calls for work or doing video work. It's the one that's on this stand sitting at my desk and ready to go. The next device we're going to talk about is the Rode VideoMicro. You can't see it. It's just off the frame over here. It's about 1.5 feet from me, pointing towards me. It's a really small mic. It runs about $50. It's great for on-camera stuff. Sounds fantastic for its size and its price. Also, not a microphone you're going to probably use day to day for work stuff, unless your work stuff is video production or potentially podcasting. But it's a nice little thing, and since I had it, I wanted to compare it to all the rest of these devices. So the first true wireless headset that you might use day to day that I want to talk about is the Apple AirPods. They're small, compact. Their user interface is quite nice. They have the Apple W1 chip, so they pair really easily with your Apple products. The microphone quality is surprisingly good on this device, but unfortunately the headphones leave a bit to be desired. Because they're just open air and there's no form of noise canceling, whether passive or active, if you're in a noisy subway or you're riding the bus, it's pretty tough to hear what you want to listen to without really cranking the volume up. And I actually find that it's a little too loud, and I end up having some pretty significant hearing fatigue after listening for just a little bit. So I definitely actually prefer a wireless headphone that provides some form of noise rejection, generally the passive type, so they kind of insert into your ears. At $160, it's pretty expensive. I will say the user interface on it's quite nice. You take them out of the charging case and they turn on, connect to your device, you put them in your ear, and you're good to go. Take them out and it pauses your music. So there's some nice things about it. If you tend to work or commute in quiet areas, they're a pretty good option. Otherwise, not my first choice for Bluetooth headset. So the next device we're going to talk about is actually a speakerphone. It's the Jabra Speak 510. It's Bluetooth and USB. It's battery powered and it's pretty small, so you can just toss it in your bag. I like it a lot. It sounds quite good for what it is. I've tried a number of speakerphones, and compared to, say, using your cell phone or your laptop to have a call with a couple people in the room, it blows them all out of the water. Not something you're probably going to use for listening to music, but I've been pretty happy with it overall. At $150, it's fairly reasonably priced for what it is. Definitely, if you need a speakerphone, I think it's a good option. Jabra does make a higher end model that's a bit more expensive and can pair with other units, so you can actually have multiple speakerphones call working together, which would be nice if you do need to cover a big conference room, but I think for the most part, the 510 is enough for most people. So the next microphone we're looking at is actually the microphone built into my MacBook Pro. It's a 2018 model. I was pretty surprised by how good this sounded. Granted, the computer is only about 1.5 feet away, and I'm in a very quiet room. As soon as you sort of take this into a noisy environment and put it a little farther away, it's not going to sound very good. And if you don't have headphones, the audio coming out of your speakers in your computer is definitely going to cause some feedback loops, and it's not recommended. Wanted to let you guys hear what it sounds like with the onboard mic. Definitely sounds better than some of the other laptops I've had over the years, particularly some of the HPs and Dells, but still not really the microphone you want to use when you join calls or record audio. The next headset we're going to talk about, and the cheapest, is the Microsoft LifeChat LX6000. At $42, this is a pretty good deal. The audio quality on the microphone is decent, definitely better than the average for what I've listened to on Bluetooth and wired microphones, but still leaves some room for improvement. Unfortunately, the headphones on them are pretty terrible. I feel like someone stuffed some socks in my ears and then put the headphones on when I listen to music through it, so definitely don't recommend it for music, but if you just need to take a call, it'll get by. I believe it used to be the #1 pick on Wirecutter, though now it's dropped down to #2. Once again, at $42, it's not too bad. The last headset we're going to look at is a Logitech H800. At $64, this one's one of the less expensive models. Unfortunately, it's also one of the worst models, if not the worst sounding headset in this comparison. The microphone's terrible. You sound like you're down a well, and the headphones sound pretty terrible as well. I've also noticed it has issues sometimes keeping connection over Bluetooth. We are listening to this over Bluetooth, but it can be used on USB as well. I couldn't get the USB to work on my Mac, but I do know it works pretty well on a PC. All right, well, that about wraps it up today. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel. I've got more stuff coming. Take care, everyone. Holy shit, that is a big f***ing spider. What the f*** is that? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.